Welcome to the quarterfinals of the NIT. We are in Frisco, Texas this year. And what a great host Frisco has been. We love Frisco. We also love the fact that basketball is back. Last year, this is what arenas all around the country looked like. But tonight, this is the pulse of March. The players are ready. We've got fans in the stands, 25% capacity here at the Comerica Center. And we are ready to go for Colorado State out of the Mountain West, taking on NC State out of the ACC. You look at the brackets here in the NIT, just two #1 seeds left in the NIT, Ole Miss and St. Louis knocked off already. What's up, everybody? John Triffin alongside my partner, Fran Fraschilla. Fran, we're not in our homes anymore. We're in an arena for the first time in over a year. I am hyped for that. I'm also hyped for the fact we've got the #1 overall seed in the NIT in Colorado State. We also have a surging NC State team, winners of 6 of their last 7. Fran, let's go.
Hey, Kevin Keatts has a team. They're only one of 3 ACC teams still playing in late March. They're excited. And for Colorado State, Niko Medved's got the kind of team you love to see in the NIT. No seniors, sophomore dominated, using this tournament as a springboard into next season.
Our officials for tonight, Larry Spalding, Gerald Williams, Jerry Heater. We are underway here in Frisco, Texas. Colorado State controls the tip.
Basketball in March, Mr. Schriffen.
Oh, man.
How about that?
I'm so glad to be out of my house and in an arena. You have no idea. Offensive foul is called on Colorado State. Let's take a look at the starting 5 for NC State. Cam Hayes, Sebron, Funderburg, Helms, Bates. If you're looking for Braxton Beverly, he was a late scratch due to an injury. He will not play tonight.
And this is a big lineup for NC State. They're playing without Devin Daniels, who was hurt midway through ACC play. And Kevin Bates told us he's going to put his best 5 on the floor. That big lineup has been a problem for teams late in the year.
Well, you see that big lineup already on the boards. That one is blocked. That was Manny Bates getting that offensive board. For Colorado State, your starting 5. This is what we've seen out of Colorado State for most of the year. Moore, Stevens, Roddy, the former football player, Moores, and Thistlewood, who is deadly from the outside.
Love to play 5 out, interchangeable. The big guy is a low post guy. Moore's the freshman, but otherwise they really move the ball side to side.
Thistlewood with that quick trigger. Got to get a hand in his face. Still looking for our first bucket here in Frisco, Texas. We are over a minute in here at the Comerica Center.
Going to see a freshman backcourt tonight. Sebron and Hayes for Kevin Keatts. Both of those guys got a lot of experience this year in the ACC.
Helms looking inside. He's going to go over the screen. Shot clock under 10. Picks up his dribble. Free throw jumper is good. DJ Funderburg with our first bucket of the ballgame.
He's playing the best basketball of his NC State career, DJ Funderburg, at the right time. Watch the space now in the cutting by Colorado State. 5 out, the court, the basket is open.
Colorado State under 10. There's Stevens from downtown. And that's what Colorado State's going to do. They like to take the 3.
Yeah, and I thought the first 2 possessions, John, they weren't able to even get the ball inside. So good defense, Wolfpack.
There's a quick 3 on the other end. Off the mark is Helms. Good hustle, but out of bounds for Manny Bates. There's the head coach for Colorado State, Niko Medved. He's funny because I said to him today, I said, you know, there's a buzz about you being a second half team. You make great adjustments at the half. And he said, wait, there's a buzz about me?
He's rebuilt 3 programs already and a hot commodity.
Thistlewood off the mark.
Yeah, he's a reliable shooter. The first 2 have been pretty quick. The junior from Golden, Colorado. Already one of the career 3-point shooters in Colorado State history. You see Niko Medved rebuilding Furman. Drake, of course. Darren DeVries done a great job of replacing Niko Medved and Drake.
It's Funderburg from downtown, and NC State off to a 5-0 start for Colorado State, Fran. Their first 4 possessions have been empty.
Well, I think the defense has been really solid. NC State has basically dropped off inside the three-point line and playing what we would call a pack line defense of not giving up the paint off the dribble. Give them some credit.
Let's see if Colorado State can get that ball inside. Here's Roddy. Moore drives to the bucket. No good. Look at that defense by Bates.
Big James Moores. He's a young man from New Zealand.
Oh, yeah. Man down. Oh, but they can't finish the play. Cam Hayes.
DJ Funderburg, young man who started his career at Ohio State, then JUCO. And as I said, down the stretch of his senior year playing really good basketball inside and out. Gives you about 12 and 6 a game.
Thistlewood, another quick trigger. A lot of contact, no call. Colorado State still look for their first points of this ball game.
Oh, nice pass.
And the jam, DJ Funderburg. It's a timeout because NC State is looking good early on. Welcome back to Comerica Center. NC State has looked good early on, and they're giving it to their big man.
Yeah, DJ Funderburg. You know what? Second all-time in NC State history in field goal percentage. And you can see why early. Double figures in 9 of his last 10. He's already headed to 10 of 11, John, after the first 4 minutes of this game.
For Kevin Keats in his 4th season as head coach at NC State, got some young guards that looked really good, and he can use this NIT to get them some more experience.
Yeah, he asked his upperclassmen, do you want to go to the NIT? They said yes, and he asked them individually. He asked them as a group first, then individually. They said yes. I think they want more ice cream. We'll get into that story later. but I think that this is a great opportunity for these freshman guards, 3 of them who've played pretty well for Kevin Keats this year.
All right, so for Colorado State, 0 of 5 from LaFleur. How do they start getting some better looks?
I think they got to get the ball inside the paint off the dribble. Take a look at these freshman guards. Cam Hayes, who's had some really good moments this year, 20 at Notre Dame. Shaquille Moore, Darian Sebron. And remember, John, this is a team that won its last 5 conference games before losing in the ACC tournament to a red-hot Syracuse team.
Kendall Moore from downtown, and finally, the Rams are on the board. They trail 7-3.
Well, that's what Kendall Moore can do. The sophomore from Danville, Illinois, can make shots. Like he's a junior already.
Good defense by Isaiah Stevens. Here's Funderburg again. Working in the post, spin move, and no one's going to stop him when he gets that close.
Yeah, David Roddy's a big guy in there at 6'5", about 250, but you mentioned DJ Funderburg playing his best right now. I was impressed with him yesterday, as you were, when we watched practice. High energy.
You know what stands out about this NC State team is just how athletic and long they are. I mean,
they look
every position.
They look like an ACC team.
That's right. Jump shot. Isaiah Stevens canvas. So now Colorado State knocking down back-to-back shots. Shaquille Moore from downtown off the mark. You know, Franny, I was watching this guy in warm-ups. He was throwing down windmill dunks. So watch out for him on a breakaway.
Oh, that's nice.
Moore is pinned on the backboard. Manny Bates, get out of here.
That's what Manny does. He has not had a block in 3 games,
and then he finishes off on the other end off the no-look pass from Shaquille Moore.
Manny Bates, who is the best shot blocker in the ACC, was distraught, John. He didn't have a blocked shot in the last 2 games, but got one early. Nice pass.
Kick out. They swing it around the perimeter. Moore to the bucket, and they can say he got tripped on his way.
Let's watch Manny right here. Good drive by Moore as the redshirt freshman. And I love this. Watch Manny run. That's what we call the unknown runner. The guy that runs, not knowing whether he's going to get rewarded or not, he got rewarded.
Well, and he let the point guard know, I'm open.
I always felt when you had a big guy get a big rebound or a block shot, a smart point guard would reward him at the other end. We used to do that in the schoolyard.
Jalen Gibson checking into the game for the first time for NC State. Into the game also for the first time is Deshaun Thomas, who puts 2 in.
He's another one of those precocious sophomores that Nico Medved has built this program around.
Cam Hayes now running the show for the Wolfpack. And a travel on Funderburk as he was trying to establish position.
You know, one of the things, John, about these freshmen from NC State, if you think about it, they didn't really have a summer program last year. Because of COVID, these guys really didn't get the things done in the summer that you normally can get done with conditioning and player development. And so they're still coming into their own.
3-ball back iron, no good by Thomas. NC State just had their first turnover of the ball game. So a good start for the Wolfpack. They're up 11-7. Under 13 minutes to play here in this first half.
I'm looking around in the stands. We got people here.
Oh, this is
awesome.
incredible. Frisco, Texas has been so good to us. Jump shot off the mark by Hayes. Offensive rebound, but a travel on Jericho Helms.
John, let's go. I want to show you what passing to the post looks like. This is a forgotten art. Watch this little pass into the post, simple, right to his numbers, and that allows DJ Funderburk to go strong through David Roddy. It's a lost art. Just throwing the ball to your big guy right in his numbers where he can catch it and make a move.
So we see NC State going to their bench a lot. They have no Braxton Beverly. Ebenezer Dewana is also out. So we're going to see how they handle the minutes for their guys with 2 men down in terms of the rotation.
Well, Jalen Gibson's on the court now, number 11, freshman. Oh, nice cut.
John Tange all alone will finish it.
You'll see that, you have to concern yourself with Manny Bates inside, but what Colorado State does really well is spread the floor with that 5-out offense.
NC State slowing down the pace here. Hayes uses the screen to the bucket, but he is denied by Thomas.
Oh, yeah. Oh, keep running, big fella. Thomas stopped running. He needed to go rim to rim on that.
Isaiah Stevens is just so dangerous on the penetration. On the dish off to Thomas.
Oh, that's a foul.
There it is. And look at Colorado State now back into this ball game. Only down by 2 after the hot start by NC State. Now we got a ball game. We'll be right back. ESPN's exclusive presentation of the NIT is brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. Beautiful shot of Frisco, Texas. For the first time, the NIT is not being held at the Garden, but Frisco, what incredible hosts. Love coming here. Colorado State, to start, was 0 of 5 since they are 4 of 6. Coach, teach me how to do the slip screen.
You're going to see something on the right side of your video here. Watch the 2 defenders for NC State. They're going to switch a down screen. The only problem is David Roddy is not going to screen. He's going to slip to the basket and get an easy one. That's what we talked about. When you play 5 out, John, and there's no low post player on your team, you've got all that room to make those back cuts to the basket. That's what Colorado State has done well all season long.
So NC State, who started this game up 7-0, scoreless over the last almost 2 minutes, 30 seconds on the court. And it's now just a 1-point ball game. NC State leads here with 11:20 to play in this first half.
Well, this is a Colorado State team that had 14 Mountain West wins this year. So they're used to comebacks, by the way, in a big way.
Shaquille Moore with plenty of defenders in his face, off the mark.
How about those sneakers squeaking, John?
This is why I love being in a gym again. 3 ball off the mark. Cam Hayes, that was a deep one.
Yeah, he can make those. And freshman had 20 in that win at Notre Dame in early March, a couple weeks ago. See the court, how spread it is? They're going to pass, cut, and just, there it is.
You
almost
saw that back to it,
yeah.
It was good defense by Cam Hayes, though.
Yep.
Into the lane, Hayes poked it away, but he is going to get called with the foul on Isaiah Stevens.
Let's go back and watch the spacing we're talking about here. Nobody in the post, and that's exactly why they are tough to guard. They have 5 guys that can all handle and pass the ball.
So for Hayes, that is going to be his second personal, so DJ Funderburk will come back into the ballgame for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, that moves more to the 1. Sebron, those 2 freshmen, without Braxton Beverly, who is a guy that's had a terrific career, who is sidelined tonight. This is not a deep team, especially in the backcourt.
For more information, go to ncaa.com, your official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. Helens from deep. Good offensive rebound. DJ Funderburk, he has been the man so far for NC State.
You know, John, when he got to NC State, he had some difficulties with maturity. I talked to Kevin Keats yesterday with you yesterday, and he was just raving about how he's become like the vocal leader of this young team down the stretch of the season.
Well, of their 13 points, he's got 11. Tanjay spins out of trouble, but throws it out of bounds off of Thomas, so NC State ball. For Funderburk, you see the numbers there. The rest of the team only has 2 points. I think they're trying to feed him.
Look at this.
Tanjay picks his pocket one-on-one, and he is tripped going to the bucket. The officials, they're going to talk about this.
Yeah, I just thought they got their feet tangled up. This will be a common foul.
Okay.
Yep. Watch Tanjay poke it loose with his quick hands, and he's off to the races. The young man from Omaha, Nebraska. Can you believe that this kid, as a high school sophomore, averaged 1.8 points a game? 2 years later, he leads the state of Nebraska in scoring. And he's wearing the amount of points he averaged as a sophomore in high school.
It's good to see Tanjay get up after that hard fall. Now, that's the 6th team foul. That's also the 2nd foul on Funderburk. So Funderburk has 2, and Hayes also has 2 for NC State.
2 of their 3 best players tonight, for sure.
But they're going to leave Funderburk in the ballgame.
No, they don't have a lot of answers on that bench without Braxton Beverly tonight.
P.J. Bird running the point for Colorado State. Finds Roddy coming off a screen. Roddy, they haven't gotten him involved yet.
They have not, and they're not making jump shots from the outside. Most of their offense has been on those cuts. Jericho Helms has been quiet as well. He really gives Kevin Keats a punch.
Look at that bench from Colorado State cheering on this defensive effort. But to the bucket, Shaquille Moore and 1.
Pretty dry by the freshman from Greensboro. Lefty, watch this little ball fake right here. Watch the defense bite on this fake right here. Whoop. And now he's going to set up the 3, and once Morris came out, he faked 2 guys out at one time. He faked the jump shot, then he faked the dribble, jump shot off the dribble, and then he drove it to the basket.
That's not a freshman move. That's a veteran move right there, because easily he could have taken that 3, hit him with the little hezzy, and went to the hole.
Yep. A little pressure now by the Wolfpack. Good fake.
Roddy trying to get on the board, off the mark. Rivera swoops in for the rebound. Three ball on the way by Moore. Good box out on eighth by Jericho Helms. Helms going to keep it himself. No, dish out to Moore.
Good fake again. Too much.
And just lost it on the way up. NC State on top, 16-12 as we approach 8 minutes to play here in this first half. Bird's been a spark off the bench for the Rams. He'll find Moore. Moore's is off the mark.
Yeah, that's not his game yet. Watch this.
Manny Bates is fouled as he goes up. He'll be called up against Moore's. NC State with a 4-point lead, under 8 to play here in this first half. Welcome back to Frisco, Texas. Let's show you how it started in the first round. NC State had a comfortable win, 75-61 over Davidson. For Colorado State, they were in a fight with a tough Buffalo team. They survived and advanced 75-73. For both these schools, it is the first time they have ever met on the basketball court. Winner tonight will advance to the semifinals against the winner of Boise State and Memphis.
You know, John, what's so cool about this game, neither team is ranked in the top 25, is given the craziness of the season. When we go back to October, November, not sure we would be playing, all of these teams in the tournament wanted to be here. There's 8 left. There's 2 games tonight over in North Texas, about 30 miles from here. But just to see these kids out on the court competing, given what we've been through this year, it's awesome. It warms my heart. And I get to see you in person.
I mean, this is incredible.
Yeah.
I literally have been in my apartment this entire basketball season. I'm in an arena with you, with fans, from downtown, off the mark. Helms.
Jericho's off to a slow start. He really came on this year as an outstanding ACC player. Early in the year, he was playing the 4 spot, but because of the injury to Daniels, he's moved to the 3, and they've gone with a big lineup.
Roddy going against Funderburg. Funderburg's got 2 fouls, but look at the help defense by Manny Bates.
I love the strategy by Nico Medved to try to get that 3rd foul, but Manny Bates said nope. And now Funderburg's still got to be careful in the post as he posts. That's short.
Moore off the mark. There's the outlet for Colorado State. And a blocking foul is going to be called on Moore as Kendall Moore went up hard.
Good pass ahead that time by Rivera, the freshman.
For Colorado State, they decided they wanted to make a statement, and Coach Nico Medved left it up to his players. A great job. They said they wanted to have Black Lives Matter t-shirts to let their voices be heard. They also, with what recently happened in the supermarket shooting in Boulder, they wanted to actually have a patch saying Boulder strong, but due to the fact that they were on the road, they couldn't get it turned around in time. But they wanted people back in Boulder, even though that's not where Colorado State is from, to let them know we are thinking about you.
Yep.
It was interesting when we talked with head coach Nico Medved. He was trying to even find the words to respond to that shooting, but he said, we've got to find a way to be better.
I think you've seen this year in college basketball, the voices of the student athletes have been heard, but also coaches allowing the freedom of expression that, 15, 20 years ago, a coach was the sometimes benevolent dictator. This year you see in practice, like I noticed this yesterday, those kids were so locked into Nico Medved, and yet he was pretty easygoing. It was almost like, hey, I got a mature group of guys. They want to be playing. They realize we have a young team. They're going to get better and better as they go forward. And really good spirit, I thought.
When you talk about maturity, think about the fact that for the past 10 months, these teams and these kids haven't really been able to see their parents, their friends, their family. I mean, when Colorado State came here, they were able to hug their family members for the first time in 10 months. Talk about maturity.
Well, I'll tell you, there are a couple of parents here tonight, Pat and Barry Stevens from Allen, Texas, about 11 miles down the road here east of Frisco. They haven't seen Zay Stevens in 8 months until last week when he played his first game here at Comerica. So you talk about a couple of parents who are excited to see their son. There's a perfect example. Dallas kid, homegrown.
Love it. 4 minutes to play here in this first half. Wolfpack with a 4-point lead. Shaquille, boy, that's what he's been doing. Get to the lane, but he can't finish up close. Rams trying to push the pace, but Bird a little out of control with the turnover. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Sweet 16 begins Saturday on CBS and TBS, or you can stream games on the March Madness Live app from anywhere. For more information on game times and networks, go to ncaa.com.
Hey, listen, John, I was in Indianapolis over the weekend watching some basketball, and kudos to the NCAA. Now, they swung and missed down in San Antonio, and hopefully they got that rectified on the women's side, but Indianapolis, I was just walking around downtown. That's where we've had many Final Fours. Final Four this year. And kudos to all the families that came out. I got to watch North Texas play Villanova. Just the fact that we're playing NCAA basketball late March is awesome.
Into the lane, Darion Sebron loses it. I mean, we talked about it in the open. Just the fact that a year ago today we had empty gyms in March, and we have 25% capacity here at the Comerica Center. Starting to feel like we're getting back to some sense of normalcy. Kendall Moore off the mark, but there's David Roddy, his first points of the ballgame.
David Roddy scoring inside. Now we're getting back to some sense of normalcy right there. He's off to a slow start, but a sophomore from Minneapolis, all Mountain West player this year.
But for Colorado State, they're just 1 of 12 from downtown. Manny Bates, he has been a force inside. He's got 5.
Manny's really improved on the offensive end. We know him as a shot blocker, but Kevin Keats said he spent a lot of time working on his game, and that time, nice little jump hook over the left shoulder.
Hellam's a little too close on that defense. He's going to get called with the foul. That's the first on Hellam's. That's the 8th team foul, so Stevens will go to the line.
This young man, second team All-Mountain West this year, one of the best couple of point guards in that league. And again, when you talk about Roddy and Hellam's and James Moore's only a redshirt freshman, John Tanji, this is a good group to go forward with. This team, John, like a lot of the teams in the NIT, probably 1 win away from an NCAA bid this past season.
And the way they finished down the stretch, it was really tough the way the schedule shook out. They played 4 games in 7 days. They lost the last game of the regular season to Nevada. As we have a turnover, Stevens the other way. Thistlewood, they still can't find the touch from the outside.
Yeah, Thistlewood, he didn't miss many of these shots.
Trying it again.
Oh, man.
And they are just ice cold.
That's a 39% three-point shooter on the season, and a guy that is going to end up with at the top of the record books. He's already tied for 5th in all-time threes made for the team from Fort Collins.
I loved after that play, Isaiah Stevens went up to Thistlewood and just kind of shook his head like, we got you, keep shooting. Don't worry about it.
Absolutely. Like a good hitter in baseball, a great shooter's got to have amnesia.
Hellam's discards his defender and knocks down the shot.
That young man has a historic background, the 3rd all-time scorer at St. Louis Chaminade behind Jason Tatum and Bradley Beal.
Thistlewood now 0 of 5 from downtown.
You know what I tell him? Keep shooting.
Don't have to tell Hellam's to shoot. It's a 4-point lead, but with the way Colorado State has been shooting, don't you feel like NC State should be up a little more at this point?
No question about it. No question. They're making NC State work on the defensive end. You got to finish that, but you got Bates in there.
Thomas does finish.
Good job by another sophomore.
Funderburk has 2 fouls, so he really couldn't contest that one.
Over half of this Rams team's points come from that sophomore class.
Corner 3 ball. How about it?
That's a guy.
NC State, Max Farthing. They're going deep on the bench tonight because with an injury to Braxton Beverly, they got to get somebody else to get some minutes out there.
Let me tell you something. That's Max's first 3 of the season. Max Farthing's only played 12 minutes all season. But he is knocking it down, John, adding to that depth.
Well, you see the logo for an NIT tournament this year in North Texas, but look at the ball. That's the Big Apple in New York. The NIT usually is there. Not this year. We're loving it here in Frisco.
Kev, Sean, and Coach coming up at the half. We'll look back on the fabulous coaching career of Lon Kruger, plus the player in the South region of that other tournament going on right now that can carry his team to a Final Four. Sean, Funderburk leading the way, but...
Yeah, the three personal fouls. They're going to be without him here for what looks like the final 2:42, and the rest of the team has struggled offensively. Colorado State has done an excellent job defending the rest of the squad, holding them just 28% field goal percentage. So be interested to see if Colorado State can make a run here.
Well, I'll tell you what, the butt was dramatic. But, Fran, I was going to talk about missed three-point shots, but a bigger question for you is your name in the transfer portal.
No, I'm happy where I am. You know, if I get an extension, Seth, I'm happy. Don't mess with happy. That's what Jimmy V taught me. I am not in the portal. You will not see my name in that portal. Happy man.
So you heard the mention of DJ Funderburk with 3 fouls for NC State.
Little 1-3-1 zone here by Colorado State. They play about 2% of their possessions in that zone. How about Manny Bates going to work inside? Getting deep position.
As soon as he caught it, it was like hot potato. He got it right up to the rim.
That's what we call doing your work early in the low post. He buried that defender underneath the basket. Oh, nice cut.
But another turnover. Here comes Helms for the Wolfpack. No one's going to stop him, so he's going to put up a shot.
I think to your point, John, Colorado State is still in this game, and they're not making shots either. You got to finish that.
No. Roddy with the spin move, that was off.
Listen, this Colorado State team was down 26 at San Diego State, came back and won.
An offensive foul on Shaquille Moore. That'll erase the basket. Here's our NCAA Women's Championship Sweet 16 matchups for Saturday. The first game is the battle of the superstar freshmen. Caitlin Clark leads Iowa against Paige Beckers against UConn at 1 p.m. Eastern on ABC. Then it's Michigan-Baylor. Later on ESPN2, Indiana takes on NC State, followed by Arizona-Texas A&M. All games are also available on the ESPN app.
My guy Gary Blair, very fortunate to escape 2 close games in the opening 2 rounds. I thought Troy, the Trojans, had them, and that would have been a 2-15 upset.
I've noticed after Funderburk went to the bench, Roddy is trying to establish himself inside, but he just cannot find the touch early on.
He's struggling with length, and there he goes. That time he goes right through Helms. He has struggled with Funderburk and particularly Bates in there, in a little 3/4 court press right now by the Rams. Usually go back to a 1-3 zone. 1-3-1 zone. Look at Thistlewood at the top. He's 6'6", long arms, and he's a problem up there.
Roddy has 6 points now, 2 of 7 from the floor. Colorado State trails by 3. Under a minute to play. That 3 is off the mark by the Wolfpack. And Manny Bates out of bounds as he grabbed that offensive board.
Yes, there you see DJ Funderburk. Not happy with the 3rd foul, especially as well as he's played.
So 40 seconds remain here in this first half for Colorado State down by 3.
See, Roddy keeps Bates away from the basket.
Tanjay, a lot of contact, but no call. They're going to say that's off the Rams.
Nico Medved was not happy with that.
That's the 5th turnover for Colorado State, as the Wolfpack will now get a chance for one last shot. But Thistlewood with a turnover, and it rolled off the rim and commits the foul. I mean, what could go wrong for Colorado State? They just can't get anything to go.
Yeah, he has had a tough first half. He's missed a couple of open threes. There's that length I talked about at the top of that zone press, and then spins it, and it rolls off the rim, and then he commits a foul. Fortunately, they're not in the bonus yet. But there's that 1-3-1 pressure again.
And a timeout for NC State. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this quick 30-second break.
You see the frustration
tonight.
right here. Watch.
6 points tonight.
Watch Thistlewood right here. Not happy. I got to tell you, the Rams are lucky that they're only down 3. And NC State should be luckier that they don't have a bigger lead. Shooter.
1 second on the clock, and at the buzzer, off the mark. So our score at the half, NC State up 28-25. Funderburk, he was the man. 11 points, but 3 fouls. Now, here's Kevin Connors and Seth Greenberg and Sean Farnham in the studio.
All right, John, how about Colorado State? 1 of 15 from three-point range, and yet in this game, down only 3 at the break. Mississippi State Richmond going on right now over on ESPN2. Sean, this game was tied at 34 at the half. Javian Davis stroking the 3. Bulldogs playing efficiently despite a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, shooting 54% from the field, 14 turnovers. That's down a little bit. They had 11 in the first half. That allowed them to have some separation, but this Richmond team won't go away.
Yeah, Molnar and Stewart, that is a backcourt for the future for this Mississippi State team. That would be one of the best backcourts in the SEC next year.
Van Hallen, if he can bring him back, of course, with all the players who are in the transfer portal right now, you never do know. Cameron Matthews to throw down. Spiders lead it by 1 over on ESPN2.
Going down negative town on me.
A look at the NIT bracket shows you the winner of that game awaits the winner of Western Kentucky, Louisiana Tech, which comes your way 10 Eastern tonight on ESPN2. Mississippi State, Richmond over on ESPN2. Sean Farnham, back and forth they go.
Yeah, this one has continued to be an outstanding game. But what I love about this is the NIT, yeah, you're past the first weekend. You're not in New York City. You're fighting to grow, and you're fighting for next year and gaining momentum, and Richmond's done a great job battling that.
They say everything's bigger in Texas.
Indeed, including this quarterfinal matchup. The Wolfpack in front of the Rams by 3. Second half action is on the way.
The NIT is in Frisco, Texas this year. Winner tonight gets a trip to the semifinals. At the half, NC State is up 28-25. John Schriffen alongside Fran Fraschilla. Colorado State, I mean, they couldn't have shot it any worse. 1 of 15 from downtown, Fran.
You know, I thought the length of NC State bothered them. Some on jump shots, certainly around the paint. 8 for 29 from the field. You mentioned 1 of 15. And this guy who makes a bunch of them, Thistlewood, 0 for 7 from the field. And NC State, on the other hand, you love their length inside, especially Bates and Funderburk. Funderburk in foul trouble, so Bates took over offensively. They got it done. And despite all these highlights of NC State, John, Colorado State is in the ball game.
All right, welcome back. John Schriffen alongside Fran Fraschilla. All right, Fran, you're a former coach. Take me inside the Colorado State locker room. At the half, what did Niko Medved say to his team to get them going here?
Well, I'm going to guess, but this is what I would have said. Hey, guys, you're playing an ACC team. We can't play any worse offensively than we have in the first half, and we are down 3. We are never going to go 1 for 15 and a half the rest of your careers here. So let's go out and get back to play Colorado State basketball, make our shots, and we're going to win this game because we can't play any worse.
Well, when you look, this is the 4th time this season that Colorado State has only hit 1 3-pointer by the half. In those previous 3 games, their record 1-2 on the season.
Well, Adam Thistlewood has made a 3 in 73 of 87 games. I don't think he's going to go over the second half.
Cam Hayes and DJ Funderburk couldn't connect there, so NC State starts this second half with a turnover. Funderburk has 3 fouls as well as Shaquille Moore. And there's an interception.
Yeah, Stevens did not see the defender on the backside. He just threw it to the corner. That was too easy.
Helms from the corner.
He banked it.
Did he bank that?
Yes, he did.
I was trying to see from my angle if that went off the backboard.
It did, yep.
Wow. NC State with a little full court press here to start the second half.
Well, they're taking the ball out of Zay Stevens' hands, who is the catalyst of this offense.
Backdoor cut to Roddy.
That's it.
And that's what the Rams are going to look to do more, get into the paint.
Well, spacing, too. Perfect example of spacing the floor and taking those big guys out on the perimeter where you can back cut them.
Roddy's got 8 points for the ball game now as the Rams trail by 4.
Good fake.
Up straight. That was good defense by Moores.
That was what we call walling up right there. They practiced that yesterday. As long as you stay inside that restricted arc circle and go vertical, you're fine.
Stevens tried to throw the alley, but that was blocked by Bates. Gets it back, and there's that length again by NC State.
I thought Stevens was spooked on that shot, both shots. Can't worry about those big guys.
4-point ball game. Darian Sebron.
Let's go back and watch what we watched yesterday, John, at practice. Taking charges and walling off right there. They practice staying vertical inside the restricted arc. Outside the arc, you can take that charge. But inside the arc, if you jump straight up and stay vertical, like right there, Moores, that is not a foul. You saw that in play a couple possessions ago.
That is intense practice. As a coach, do you almost get worried a guy could get hurt on a play like that?
No. Taking a charge is part of the game.
Cam Hayes gets the ball back. It is blocked, though, by Moore.
They got a run out.
Moore ahead of the pack will lay it in, and
Kendall.
Colorado State only down by 2.
Kendall Moore out of Danville, Illinois. Home of guys like Gene Hackman. How about that one?
Ooh.
Gene Hackman from the same high school. Thought I'd drop that on you there. Well, let's go back and see that bank shot by Helms. He didn't have his ATM card out, so he just went to the bank. And
what an angle. I don't even think he could do that again if he was playing horse.
No, of course not.
Cam Hayes pushing
Nice.
off the defender. Look at him get into the lane with a lot of contact.
Yeah, Kendall Moore's not a big guy, obviously, and Cam Hayes said, I think I could get to the bucket and use a little bit of my power and strength right there.
So Isaiah Stevens trying to go back at him. Picks up his dribble, finds Roddy. Roddy thought about it. Now we'll get into the lane and throws it down.
That's it.
David Roddy. He's got 10.
Got to go at the shot blocker. You cannot baby the ball in there.
Oh, he didn't baby that.
No, that's how you go. You make him block your shot or foul you.
Going right back at him is Cam Hayes, and you see he had to sit for most of that first half with 2 fouls. He's being aggressive here.
Yeah, I'm impressed with him. He had a really good freshman year for a freshman in the ACC. Young man out of Greensboro Day School, a terrific program.
Nice pass by Stevens to Moores. And Colorado State looks like a different team in the second half.
Well, they're getting the ball to the paint. Remember, in the first 10 minutes of the first half, they were settling for those contested threes, and they can shoot it, but that's not who they are. They have to attack from the rim out.
Hayes pull-up jumper right inside the three-point line. And Colorado State can tie or take the lead with a 3 here. Into the lane is Stevens, and Moore.
Little English on that layup right there. That's what we call PhD, proper hand development. See that spin?
And we got a tie ball game with under 16 minutes to play in the second half.
And my halftime speech worked.
I love it. Going back to what was so effective in that first half, Funderburk off the mark. Stevens with a pull-up 3 in transition, now 1 of 16 from downtown.
Oh, too easy. Yep.
Roddy with a fast break. Kick out to Stevens. And there they go. Finally, the 3 goes down. And Colorado State with their first lead of the ballgame.
Listen, they couldn't have played any worse in the first half. That's why you felt good about the start of the second half.
The Rams on a 7-0 run, and that's exactly what they needed.
Let's take a look. How do you deal with a shot blocker? Take it right up to the rim to his chin. And then how about this? PhD, proper hand development, the spin. Oh yeah, nicely done.
Welcome back here to the quarterfinals of the NIT. The coaching tree is long. Look at the coaches. Bobby Knight, Nolan Richardson, Adolph Rupp. I mean, these are coaches who are legends in the game, who have made an appearance in the NIT. And another coach who is starting to build his legacy, Niko Medved at Colorado State. He laughed at me when I said there's buzz about him making adjustments at the half, but he's clearly made an adjustment here.
Yeah, I wouldn't say legacy as much as he's building his resume. There's a lot of time for legacy, but I love the style. I love the way he connects with his kids. Practices were sharp yesterday, and he's got his team coming out in the second half and playing the way they've played most of the season.
Cam Hayes out of bounds, so that's going to be a turnover over to Colorado State.
In watching Colorado State this season, the thing that really impressed me was his offensive acumen. He has a feel for offense.
So immediate timeout on the floor. This is what they're playing for, the NIT. Wait, Fran, where are you going with it? Come on.
I'm shining it up, baby. I'm polishing it up.
See, he's looking around. Does anyone see him? Welcome back to the Comerica Center. John Schriffen alongside Fran Fraschilla. All right, Fran, Colorado State started this game 0 of 5 from the floor. To start this second half, they're 6 of 8. What was the adjustment Niko Medved made at the half?
Not much. Just keep playing your game. The shots are going to fall. They're driving it a little bit more. I would say the one big adjustment is they're playing from the inside out. Early first half, John, they went outside in with those threes. And if you're NC State right now, and I'm DJ Funderburk, I'm like, I need some touches, man. I need some touches. Get me touches, because I was 5 of 6 in the first half, and I don't have a field goal attempt so far in the second half.
For Colorado State, they're on a 7-0 run over the last 2 minutes. This is their largest lead of the ball game at 3.
This is a good time to get it inside. Throw it in there. Good front job. Good job by Roddy. He won't let Funderburk catch it.
3 from downtown, off the mark by Moore.
Look at David Roddy, 6'5", 250. 3-sport star in high school.
They wanted him to play football at a bunch of schools. He decided to settle on basketball. Can't get that one to fall. And this is really the first time in his athletic career he's been able to focus on one sport. Inside, and that's just too much length for Manny Bates.
Well, and that's what they've got to do. They fronted Funderburk on that last possession. That time Manny Bates got deep position, and Manny's become more proficient as his year went on of scoring around the paint.
Deflection. NC State on the run out. And Moore will finish it off.
Couple easy baskets, one at the rim by the big fella, and then in transition.
So NC State retakes the lead. They're up by 1. Stevens in the lane. Free throw jumper rattles in.
Good looking shot. His big fella Moore's rolled to the rim. He was free at that foul line area. I call that the high paint. Got to be able to score at the high paint if you're a point guard.
A trio of subs getting ready to come into the ball game for Colorado State.
They have a little more depth tonight, John, without Braxton Beverly, the senior from NC State who's out tonight.
If you're late joining us, Beverly was a late scratch just about half an hour before game time. We found out that Braxton Beverly would not play due to an injury tonight.
He's one of the best three-point shooters in history. There you see Max Farthing, who had a big performance in the first half. He played major minutes tonight, 6 minutes. He hadn't played 11 all season, but he banged that 3.
His first shot, he took it. So a foul away from the ball as Funderburk was on the floor.
You see the young man from Hazard, Kentucky.
For more information, go to ncaa.com, your official online home for all 90 NCAA championships.
Braxton Beverly, he looks like Daniel Boone, doesn't he?
Helms, man, he looks good knocking down that shot. You could see him talking to his friend, talking to his guys there, like, come on, let's go.
I thought he was talking to himself.
NC State back in the lead, but Stevens comes back with the right hand.
That young man was a terrific high school player about 11 miles from here.
Skip pass to the corner. Moore's just dancing with it. But he'll turn it over. Colorado State with numbers. What's Bird going to decide to do? He's just going to pull it out.
Oh, he's got to look for it. He did. When you make that cut, you got to keep your head up.
Thomas from the elbow off the mark. Tangled up with Manny Bates. Colorado State bench wanted something there. Look at Funderburk working inside on Tanjay, and there's the steal.
Poor angle on that post feed. Cam Hayes has got to be below the foul line extended because that pass will take his big guy to the basket, not away from it.
Colorado State, their largest lead in the second half was 3. That'll match it off the jumper by Stevens, and he's starting to get going. He leads all scorers with 15.
Well, that's his average, and he's only a sophomore. We mentioned one of the better guards in the Mountain West already.
Interior pass, that one is picked off. Another turnover by NC State.
I love Stevens. He plays with confidence.
That is a tough call on Shaquille Moore because that is his 4th.
Well, this is a nice homecoming for Zay Stevens. He's getting it done on the court, scoring it. Mom and Dad, they love it. Pat and Barry are saying, we finally get to see our boy.
Welcome back to the NIT quarterfinal winner. It's a trip to the semifinals. It's been a great ball game so far. Colorado State, they seem like they're perking right now. They're starting to get their groove. NC State with 3 straight turnovers, now 14 turnovers on the night.
Sloppy passing inside. Their post guys are doing a nice job of shaping up. But you got to understand angles when you pass it in there. You got to pass it away from the defense, but you also can't pass it to a post guy. That's going to take them way off the lane, and those young guards got to be a little more judicious with their decision making.
Well, let's take a look at this. Our first team into the semifinals is Mississippi State with a 1-point win over Richmond. That game was a thriller.
Yeah, Ben Howland's back in the NIT semifinals. I think it was 2018. He took his Bulldogs to New York.
Bird with the turnaround jumper.
Nice.
Colorado State is up by 5.
PJ Bird, the VCU transfer. Gives them a good lift off the bench. Solid playmaker.
This is the largest lead of the ball game for Colorado State.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tanji and Roddy, now it's Tanji, doing a great job of fronting Funderburk inside.
These battles inside are fun to watch because bodies are getting thrown around. That one off the mark by Helms.
Confidence in the Rams growing.
Bird's going to pull the trigger. Into the lane, looking smooth is Darion Sebron.
He's going to be a good player. He's a redshirt freshman, athletic. Got to improve that jump shooting, but looks like he's limping a little bit after that drive. Watch the spacing now. Thomas is basically the point guard as their center top.
See, in the first half, they were taking those threes. Now they're running more of their offense. Tanjay back iron, rebound to the Wolfpack.
I think when you play that way, John, it's a happy mix. Balance of inside and out.
Helms off the mark, but over the back. What a putback by Manny Bates.
Yeah, he just carved out good space that time, man. He really active tonight on both ends.
You know, it's incredible. It's been over a year since we had playoff basketball. Just being inside, what was so cool in this calling these games from home, being able to hear the arena. Let's take a listen and just hear what these players are listening to on the court. You hear the crowd. We've got 25% capacity. They're here. They're involved.
You know what I've loved about basketball this year is that you can hear coaches yelling out plays, 3 down, 3 down, watch the curl, watch the curl. And it's been fun, and you can also hear the communication between players on the court.
Also a little trash talk, which I don't mind. We hear that going back and forth.
Well, those referees this year have not I think that's been one of my pet peeves. With no crowds, you can hear everything, and I've seen some guys getting teed up this year over mundane stuff.
You're saying in years past it wouldn't have been called?
No, because the crowds would have drowned out a guy saying, "Take that in your face, Schriffen."
Which, growing up in New York City, that's every day.
That's good. Can't check me.
1 point ball, 1 point lead for Colorado State. Roddy working inside. Stays with the Rams. Well, look who's in the house. Louisiana Tech getting ready for their nightcap. They're watching the end of this one. Conference USA battle. They take on Western Kentucky as Roddy finishes in the paint.
I'll tell you what he did. He turned his body sideways, and that 250-pound frame, he was able to wall off offensively the shot blocker. He turned sideways to create space.
That's the 15th turnover for the Wolfpack. They average about 13 on the season. Excuse me, their 16th turnover.
Watch this, John. Watch Roddy. He's not going to face up. He's going to turn his body sideways and watch him eliminate the shot blocker right there. See that? The width of his body was such that there's no way the shot blocker could go through him without fouling. Really well done. When you're 6'5" like Roddy and you've been undersized at this level for 2 years, you learn how to use your strength, and that was a perfect example right there.
Now, he was also going up against Funderburk, who had 3 fouls, so that was a wise decision, knowing who's guarding you. Colorado State, a different team in this second half. They are up by 3 with under 8 to play. Well, it's been some NIT firsts here in 2021. Let's take a look back. For the first tournament was 1938. First 2 teams to play, both NCAA and the NIT, were Colorado and Duquesne. Ed Warner City College, that was a powerhouse team back in the 1950s. Now, the first interruption of the NIT happened last season, and for the first time this year, we will not be at Madison Square Garden. We will be here in Frisco, Texas. It's been an incredible environment. We love here at the Comerica Center. Everyone at the NIT has done an incredible job putting on this event.
Yeah, no question. Kudos to Conference USA. Also to the folks up at North Texas where the other quarterfinals are going on. Ren Baker up there, the AD at North Texas. Congratulate them as well. And you saw Walter Dukes up there. Seton Hall set one of the first great 7-footers to play the game of basketball. The MVP of the...
That's old school right there. That's just an old school hook shot.
In the old days, you could not park yourself in the lane for more than... You could really park yourself as long as you wanted. There was a rule change. A guy named Leroy Edwards played at Kentucky back in the 30s. He used to be unstoppable in there, so they put the 3-second rule in. Right there, Manny Bates was not in there longer than 3 seconds. He got the job done. Timely.
Roddy's in trouble. Kick it out to Stevens. 10 seconds on the shot clock from downtown.
Oh, yeah.
And now Colorado State.
How about the homecoming?
Knocks down their 3rd three-pointer of the game.
Yeah, Zay Stevens. And I mentioned it earlier. We showed Mom and Dad. They had not seen their son since early last summer when he went back to Fort Collins. So it's a thrill for them to see their son doing what he's done for 2 years now, which is make clutch shots for Nico Medved.
Cam Hayes could not answer for NC State. Roddy guarded closely by Helms.
Oh, nice.
Stevens goes over the screen, kicks it back to his big man. Thomas will pull the trigger. And that's what got them trouble in the first half.
Well, Deshaun will shoot that, and he's made them this year, not at a high rate. Now, he's shot at a high rate, but not a ton of them. But I think the flow of the offense has really been in terms of cutting and attacking. And I think he could have got that shot later in the shot clock.
Colorado State 3 of 22 from downtown tonight.
Young man Deshaun Thomas comes out of Compton Magic AAU program, a great program in Southern California.
4-point ball game.
Remember, you got 2 freshman guards out there for Kevin Keats.
Manny Bates is being double teamed, trying to find help, but he throws it away. Kendall Moore going one-on-one with the left, and he finishes.
Oh, he went PhD left side that time. This guy's going to get 2 PhDs. Left hand and right hand, proper hand development right there.
Helms from the corner. NC State not able to keep it alive. They are one and done on that offensive trip.
Jericho Helms is living on the 3-point line, but much like the Rams in the first half, he's not getting it done out there.
Isaiah Stevens, look at that screen running off of Roddy. And they're going to call it against NC State, Jericho Helms.
Watch this pass right here, stolen. Take a look now at Kendall Moore. Watch him go left hand with the Euro step. And that's pretty. Watch that spin right here.
Ooh, oh, what an angle. That's pretty.
That's schoolyard right there. We used to do that off metal backboards back in Brooklyn.
Moore's on the inside.
Yep. Hey, John, I felt good about Colorado State's chances at the half because, as I said, they really couldn't have played more ineptly on the offensive end. This is Colorado State's team right here. We're watching the first 15 minutes of the second half.
Rams on a 7-0 run. Who's going to answer for NC State? And it's Helms. That's right. In the lane and one. He's been the emotional spark plug tonight for this Wolfpack.
Well, I think he stopped settling for those contested threes, and he's starting to get the ball to the paint. And to me, I love his versatility, but I think when the shot's not going, you've got to be able to get yourself to the line and get fouled and get the old-fashioned three.
And he completes the 3-point play and pulls NC State within 5. Now for Thistlewood, that is his 3rd foul, so he's going to check out.
A little pressure now by NC State. Easily broken.
Nobody stops the ball, so Kendall Moore is just going to go all the way.
Tell you what, man, he has a love affair with that backboard, doesn't he? He knows how to use the glass.
These 2 guards for Colorado State are something, but Shaquille Moore says, don't count us out yet. The 3 by Moore cuts the lead to 4, and we are in store for a good finish.
Great finish between Mississippi State and Richmond moments ago, Coach. How about DJ Stewart?
Rhythm, dribble, pull-up jumpers. You got to disrupt the rhythm of the jump shooter. Big-time shot by DJ Stewart. Mississippi State advances.
Meantime, Boise State, Memphis coming up next. Sean, Derek Alston is a star.
Yeah, he's long, he's athletic, he really is great at attacking the rim. Tell you one thing, we might have it all Mountain West semifinals. These guys looking to advance here in the NIT.
Bronx and Tigers, John, coming up next.
All right, appreciate that. We're in store for a good finish here.
Colorado
State's got to get it over the timeline. But a foul is on DJ Funderburk, and that is the 4th personal on Funderburk.
Yeah, that was hairy for Colorado State because they had to get the ball over the timeline by 20. Now, if you call a timeout in the backcourt, you would get a fresh 20, but instead, Moore's tried to rush it up and Funderburk fouls. Take a look right here. Funderburk with the hustle, and there's not a lot there, but enough to call the foul. It's just a bad break by a big guy trying to make a defensive play. Of course, he's been frustrated tonight with his foul trouble because, John, he dominated the first 5 minutes. Watch.
Oh, my goodness, the monitor's falling on James Moores. Luckily for him, he got up. This is like a wrestling match.
He's a Kiwi, man. He's New Zealand, man. He's tough as nails.
You ever watch wrestling? They pull the monitors off the table and then slam each other through it.
Oh, yeah.
The foul was committed at 4:14, inbound in the backcourt.
So Funderburk has 4. Shaquille Moore also has 4 fouls for NC State. Cam Hayes has 3. For Colorado State, Adam Thistlewood has 3. He's the only one in any kind of foul issue. 3 ball. Misses everything. But Helms was out of bounds when he grabbed that one. It's going to stay here with the Rams.
Let's watch this right here. Watch Roddy now. He's going to do some cleanup right here. I don't know if he's a computer science major or not, but he's going to make sure he puts everything back together. Where's that Ethernet cord? Hey, by the way, Breck School, seriously, in Minneapolis, you know the guy could probably take apart a computer and put it together.
Oh, man, he is such a smart kid. Played 3 sports. So many teams wanted him to play football. We are glad he chose basketball because he is a treat to watch. Look at that fadeaway jumper.
You know what you love about that move? He powered through earlier, right, and used that body, and that time finesse. And that really fits him, finesse and power. And you're talking 6'5", 250.
Took him a while to get going, but now he's got 12. And that's a good take by Cam Hayes, and now a tee.
Now, did they get both? Or do they just get Moore? Kendall Moore, that is. I thought the official had a bad angle on the drive. From where we are, I'd love to see that, see if there was a foul. Take a look on this drive now. Kendall Moore thinks he's got all ball. And, okay, so Cam Hayes got the technical for taunting after the foul was called on Kendall Moore on the foul on the drive.
So here's the foul.
Boy, that's
that's a lot of arm.
I don't know.
That's a lot of arm. I think that's a good call. No?
I thought he got ball.
Did you? Okay.
Maybe.
I might have to see it again.
Yeah. Now in the Ivy League, that's a foul. Okay, where you
are you trying to say Ivy Leagues are soft? Wow, that's cold.
Let's watch right here.
That is cold.
Here's the drive. Ball.
Come on. He rakes him across one arm, then rakes the other arm. I know you grew up in Brooklyn, and it's a little tougher in Brooklyn. I grew up in Manhattan, but come on. A foul is a foul.
No. Man, I don't know, man. I say, we grew up no autopsy, no foul, okay? I don't know.
Taking a shot at the Ivy League. Man, we didn't even get basketball this season. You're taking shots at us. What's up with that?
Oh, man. All right.
So NC State.
Little pressure now,
able to
John.
cut the lead down to 3 with under 3:30 to play. Full court pressure. Roddy going up against Funderburk as Funderburk will back off.
Well, he's got to, right? 4 fouls?
Has to.
This is fun.
Oh, I love it.
Yep.
Kendall Moore going up against Shaquille Moore. Moore versus Moore. We want more of it. Come on.
Yep.
Stevens, tough shot. Moore is able to clean it up, and that's goaltending.
Yep.
Manny Bates called for the goaltending, so Colorado State extends their lead to 5.
Take a look. Watch this now. James Morris comes out of nowhere on the air ball, which usually happens. And then Manny Bates just tries to get a piece of it. That ball's on the way down.
Under 3 minutes to play here at the Comerica Center. Winner advances to the semifinals of the NIT.
Little 1-3-1 zone now by the Rams, mixing it up.
A lot of contact on that rebound. It looked like Bates might have gotten pushed in the back.
I think Thistlewood got away with a little push in the back. You're exactly right, but didn't call it.
Stevens, they leave him for that jumper. Rolls off the rim. Rebound to Cam Hayes. Here's our NCAA Women's Championship Sweet 16 matchups for Saturday. The first game is the battle of the superstar freshman Caitlin Clark leads Iowa against Paige Beckers and UConn at 1 p.m. Eastern on ABC. Then it's Michigan Baylor. And Later on ESPN2, Indiana takes on NC State, followed by Arizona, Texas A&M. All games are also available on the ESPN app. So 1-1 for Cam Hayes. And cannot hit the front end.
Boy, the big freshman, James Moores from New Zealand, has done a nice job tonight on both ends of the floor. Nice pass.
David Roddy got his man in the air, but Roddy traveled with it. Wow. It looked like he had the advantage.
I thought that he got rattled a little bit by the length, and didn't really argue it. A little pressure here by the Rams.
Under 2 minutes to play.
Rams go back to that 1-3-1 zone with Thistlewood at the top.
Hayes with a kick out to Helms. And Helms knocks down the three.
Good rhythm shot by Jericho Helms.
A 2-point ball game.
Colorado State's looking for Zay Stevens. Good hands.
10 on the shot clock for the Rams. Roddy working against Funderburk.
No space.
With that turn away, fall away jumper, and that is just filthy.
Oh, man. Little Adrian Danley, that's old school right there. 6'5", 250, Roddy.
Timeout on the floor. The Rams looking good. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back. Welcome back to Comerica Center. John Schriffen alongside Fran Fraschilla. Fran, that last play, that was impressive by Roddy.
Watch David Roddy use his body to create separation. Little bump right there, and all you need is that just throw Funderburk off by a half stride. And you know what great shooters do? It doesn't matter whether they're 7 foot or 6 foot. They create separation from the defender. And you can tell watching Roddy tonight that he has it down to an art form, both in the post and that time on the perimeter.
You know, in the first half, we saw the length of NC State just dominating the game.
Yeah,
Colorado State couldn't find an answer. At the half, Niko Medved said something to his team, and they looked totally different.
Well, I gave you the speech. I mean, just take it to the bank, okay? He said, we can't play any worse. We're going to play a whole lot better. Let's just keep playing our game, and they have.
They didn't rely on the three. They were just 1 of 15 from downtown in that first half. So a 4-point ball game.
Helms has been the go-to guy late in the season without Daniels.
Hayes is going to pull the trigger. Offensive rebound, Funderburk.
Bad break for the Rams because two teammates collided.
2-point ball game with under a minute to play. Colorado State has 2 timeouts remaining, NC State with 1.
Niko Medved in the last game allowed his team to play through timeouts and trusted his guys.
Stevens up and under.
Oh, he had it.
And the Wolfpack have a chance to tie or take a lead with the 3. And Kevin Keats is going to call a timeout and talk this one over. Ooh, we've got a good one. We're going to step aside, but don't go anywhere. We're coming right back. John Schriffen alongside Fran Fraschilla. And Fran, what a day we have had so far. Mississippi State won in a thriller earlier to advance to the semifinal by 1. And this one's shaping up to be a good one. If you're NC State, where do you go on this last possession?
Well, the guy that they have gone to for most of the end of the season has been Jericho Helms. You can go inside to Funderburk, but remember, they did a good job in the second half of fronting him, keeping the ball out of his hands. So Helms would be the guy. But Cam Hayes, the little guard, 6'2", 6'3", he's not real little, and a freshman, he's been pretty good most of the end of the season at getting to the basket. I think Helms is your guy, but you got to be able to be flexible enough and figure out what the defense is going to take away. And I would take away Helms for sure. try to front Funderburk inside.
Funderburk had 11 points to lead NC State in the first half. He just has 2 in this second half.
If I'm James Moores, the big center for Colorado State, I've got to keep Manny Bates off the glass.
So Funderburk will inbound with 22.6 seconds on the clock.
John, couple things. Jump ball is Colorado State's, and they have a couple timeouts left in case NC State scores.
You can't ask for more than this. Comes down to the last possession of the ball game. Helms from downtown. Roddy rips down the board. They've got a foul. And there's the foul by Cam Hayes. So Roddy will go to the line.
Roddy was hand-to-hand combat inside. You talk about a guy that we've watched. Watch him inside. Watch the bodies right here. It's going to be 50-50. Who's going to get it? Roddy comes up with it.
Now, I apologize. That was only the 5th team foul on NC State, so they still have a few more fouls to give.
Remember, if you have trouble getting it in, you have timeouts left if you're Colorado State.
They do inbound to Stevens. Stevens is fouled quickly. 7.5 remaining on the clock.
So they've got one more. Remember that baseline inbounder can, on the sideline, obviously he's not going to run there. We watched this team work on special situations yesterday.
So the next foul will send Colorado State to the line for a 1-and-1.
Keep your eye on the back guy, number 4, Stevens.
There Stevens breaks free. It's to Moore, and Moore is going to be fouled with 6.2 on the clock.
See, I told you to keep your eye on him because that was what we call a decoy, okay? So very good, John Triffin, very good.
Are we going back to old school New York City, a little 3-card Monty, where you look at one card, but it's really got to look at the other hand? Look who's watching.
Oh, yeah.
Louisiana Tech, they've been waiting in the wings all second half.
This is late March basketball.
I love it.
Oh, there's Junior Lofton, a freshman from Port Arthur, Texas. You are going to like him.
Kenneth Lofton Jr., he is fun to watch in the first-round game for Louisiana Tech. I think he finished everything around the rim. So this next game against Western Kentucky, you want to stick around for that one as well.
He needs another nickname, the Claw. We already have the meat hook. That's been taken.
All right, 1-and-1 for Moore. Knocks down the first. Here is the big one. This would make it a 2-possession game.
Now, the other thing is if there's a miss, this is a place where you foul NC State before the ball comes over midcourt. If your philosophy is not to give up the 3. Doesn't matter now.
Doesn't even matter. So Colorado State with a 4-point lead. Shaquille Moore. Max Farthing off the mark, and that'll do it. A come-from-behind win for Colorado State as the Rams advance to the semifinals of the NIT. Our final score is 65-61. Stay tuned for more NIT action between Boise State and Memphis. Fran.
We got more, John.
Oh, I can't wait. This is incredible. For Fran Fraschilla and our entire excellent ESPN crew, I'm John Schriff. And now, let's check in with the guys in the studio.
Meantime, Colorado State moving on to the semifinals with the win over NC State. Sean Farnham, Coach Seth Greenberg, Kevin Connors here in studio. Sean, remarkable that the Rams win this game. They shoot 3 for 23 from three-point range and still pull out the victory. How did they do it?
Well, I think one of the key things in this game was really the foul trouble for Funderburk. And when DJ Funderburk got into foul trouble, he became less aggressive. He scored 11 points early in this game, failed to score for the rest of the contest. And he was hesitant, and he wasn't the same level of aggressiveness, and I think that really hurt North Carolina State at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, NC State, you think about their season. They went through a lot this past season. Obviously lost one of their leading scorers in Devin Daniels, which was huge. They continue to get better, made a little run towards the end of the season, but This is the type of experience that will help them next year. They got a good majority of the team back, obviously not Funderburk, but Manny Bates is a shot blocker. Obviously, Jerkel Helms has got to be more aggressive and more consistent, but a foundation is developed for Kevin Keats to build on, and that's what the NIT is all about. The NIT is getting extra games, extra practice, shared experiences, so you can build on the next season, and that's exactly what Kevin Keats, obviously, who'd love to win. The last time, though, Ben Howland went to the NIT the following year, his team was in the NCAA tournament. You keep that backcourt, you're going to be in the NCAA tournament next year, Mississippi State.
Sean, NC State had an opportunity on that second-to-last possession, misfired. What did you think of the look and the play?
Look, they struggled from beyond the arc. I mean, well documented. We looked at the stats at 5 of 22 from deep, but you're playing to win. And sometimes you put your guys in position that they haven't been this season. You're trying to run something, build confidence, put somebody in a position to be successful that you want to see them thrive at next year. And can they execute in those situations? To what Coach was just talking about, the look was clean. I would have personally liked to see the drive and try to tie the game up and see if you can get to overtime.
Yeah, again, Kevin Keats right now, he's trying to figure his team out for the future. I mean, and again, I know he's trying to win this game, and it's really, really important to win this game. You know, a lot of times you can just say, all right, guys, let's go. Make a play, what I call advantage, disadvantage. You got advantage, disadvantage. If you think it's a good shot, let it fly. If you don't think it's a good shot, either you get a timeout. If you don't have a timeout, then you play downhill and try to get to the rim. You're trying to empower whomever is on your team to make a play. But you want to make sure you get a good look, a shot you can make. That was a shot they potentially could make.
Instead, it's Mississippi State who moves, rather, it's Colorado State who moves on to the semifinals.